All right, so you're here because you're trying to decide if you should go with SEO or Google Ads to grow your business. And both options can get you traffic, sales, and new clients, but the way they work and the results they get are pretty different. So today I'm breaking down the pros and cons of each so that you can actually see which makes sense for your business for where it's at right now. So if you're new here, I'm Josiah Roche, and I've worked with over 200 businesses across all kinds of industries, from local service providers like dentists and plumbers to e-commerce brands, helping them figure out where to invest their money into paid ads or SEO. And here's what I've learned working with them and the tips to help you decide which approach actually gets results faster for your business. Let's get straight into it. Basically, Google Ads gives you fast results, right? You're paying to show up at the top of Google search engine results so people see your business right away. That's a huge advantage if you need new leads or new bookings or customers right away, and there's a time crunch there. So if you can imagine, if you're a dentist and you're trying to really fill up your booking schedule, you can bid on words like dentist near me or emergency dental care. And as soon as someone searches those terms in the area that you're targeting, then they'll see your ad right at the top, hopefully, if there's not too much competition. And the idea is that they click, and if they're interested, they'll book an appointment. And this can start bringing in clients the very same day sometimes. But there's a cost. So every time someone clicks on that ad, it costs you money. That's basically it. So in fields like law and finance or health, where there's a lot of competition, those clicks can get expensive fast. So for example, if you're a personal injury lawyer, and you're bidding on, personal injury attorney near me, you might be paying $50 to $100 per click, or even more, $200 per click, just for each click, right? So it can really add up. So with Google Ads, you're renting that top spot. You don't own it. So as soon as you're paying, you're up there. But the moment you stop, your ad disappears and you're back to where you started, which sucks, right? So Google Ads works really well if you need fast results and have a budget to keep it going, but it's definitely not a set and forget thing. And you need to train the algorithm over time, and you need to train it. It's different for everyone. Even if you're a personal injury lawyer in one location like Sydney, ads are going to be different for you if you're in Brisbane. Like, you're going to have to tweak the ads differently, tweak the landing pages, train the algorithm over time. Each time you create a new ad account with a new campaign, you got to think of it like this thing that you've got to train for like 8 to 12 weeks, right? And you got to train it properly. There's such thing as training it properly. We can get into that later. So SEO is a different game, obviously. So instead of paying for each click, you're investing in creating content and optimizing your website to show up naturally on Google over time. So it takes longer to see results, sometimes 3 to 6 to 12 months. But once you're ranking, you don't have to pay for each visitor. You basically get it for free, and each click that comes through to your website is free. You don't have to keep bidding on all these keywords, and the traffic just keeps coming. It's like running a Google ad with no limit to the budget, and you're just getting unlimited clicks coming through, basically. And that's kind of why SEO is so attractive, but it takes a while to get there. So let's say that you're a landscaper and you want more local clients. So with SEO, you might create blog articles like, 5 tips for a greener lawn in Chicago, or the best plants for low maintenance gardens in New York. And you kind of got location-based intent there. And so it might take a few months for these posts to actually start ranking in Google, depending on how competitive they are and how many links you build to it. But once they do, people searching for these kind of topics will find your website without having to pay every time someone clicks. Now, ideally, you want your service pages ranking, not your blog articles, but sometimes your blog articles are just a gateway to a new customer. So one of the best parts of SEO is that a single page can end up ranking for multiple keywords, right? So if your blog was targeting like green lawn tips, it could also rank for other terms like how to water your lawn or best grass for warm climates. So it can rank for like dozens and dozens of keywords. And over time, this content keeps bringing in traffic without all those additional costs. Whereas Google Ads, you would have to bid specifically for each one of those keywords, and you'd pay a different cost for each one. But the downside to SEO is that it's not a quick fix, and it requires an investment up front. And you don't know when you're going to get that investment back. It's just like the stock market. But unlike the stock market, in business, you can get really high returns much sooner than the stock market. So if you're after a steady stream of long-term customers coming to your website and you don't have to pay for every bloody click, and you just want that flowing to your website so you can test more landing pages at high volumes of traffic, then SEO is incredibly powerful in that way. And, it obviously, you don't have to pay for those spots initially with the cost per click arrangement. So there's a lot of pros, there's some cons to it as well, but yeah, we'll figure out which one works for you. Let's take a look. How are we going to know which one works for your type of business? So local service businesses like plumbers, dentists, electricians, carpenters, all kind of businesses like that, lawyers, Google Ads can be a really fast way to get customers, especially new booked customers. So people often search for these services when they need them right now. If you think about it, like if you're a plumber and someone searches for emergency plumber, you want to be at the top of the search results as quick as possible. You don't have time for SEO to kick in, and ads will get you there instantly so that you can intercept that traffic, and then you can start to get those people coming to your site so that you can convince them to call you right away so that you can come and take that job. Adding in some basic SEO, like optimizing the website with local keywords and things like that, will help you rank naturally over time. So it's a really, really big thing if you can work on your SEO at the same time as running your ads. So with e-commerce stores, if you're running an online shop, Google Ads can drive traffic to product pages. The thing is, like, ad competition in e-commerce is really, really fierce. And the cost can add up a lot. So SEO, on the other hand, can help your store get traffic over time. For example, if you sell eco-friendly cleaning products, a blog post on how to clean your home naturally with these 7 amazing products, then that can bring in traffic over time and have people, just buy from you through your blog posts as well. But again, for e-commerce, I've seen that Google Ads works exceptionally well with the new Performance Max ad type out there. And if you can connect your Google Merchant Center to your product feed, basically from Shopify to Google Ads, and you can connect that to the new ad type for Performance Max, basically Performance Max is shown to halve or lower it to 1/3 of the cost for a new customer, and basically improve your return on investment or return on ad spend dramatically using that ad type. So that's a bit of a pro tip there. Now, B2B services like consulting, marketing agencies, and software providers, things like that, SEO is probably the way to go. So these services are usually higher priced. Like even us, we charge $3K a pop for a monthly subscription, and it takes longer to sell that kind of thing. There's a longer time horizon to sell people, and so it can take 12 weeks for someone to close a deal, to 2 months to 1 month. And so SEO is really powerful for building that credibility. You're basically creating content that helps people find you and build trust with you over time. Building up your case studies, how-to guides, industry insights. They work really well for B2B because they attract potential clients who are researching before they're making a big decision. And Google Ads can still work, right? But it's got higher cost per clicks, and it might take you a while before you start to get new customers through. So what I find is interruption marketing works really well with Facebook and Meta ads, and supplement it with SEO at the same time. So I hope that really helped you understand which one you should use if you're an e-commerce or local service business. Basically, you're probably getting the hint already that use both, right? You should be using both in some way or another, but slightly different for each different business type. So if you're starting and you're thinking about trying Google Ads, a few tips to help you out to begin with is focus on high intent keywords first. So for example, if you're a dentist, you might be focusing on teeth cleaning near me or emergency dentist Melbourne, and adding those suburb-based location keywords. But make sure that you verify that with Google Keyword Planner first. Don't just guess. Make sure you use Google Keyword Planner to see if there's actual search volume behind these things. Then just obviously set an ideal budget. Obviously, if your cost per click is $50 and you're only setting a $10 a day budget, you're only going to get 1 click every 5 days. If you do the math, you're not going to get that many clicks. So make sure you're realistic with the budget you're setting. And, at the start, it's a guessing game. You don't know how many clicks you're going to need to get a conversion because you haven't figured it out yet with Google Ads. And so the idea is that you've got to work your way up to understand how much it costs for a new lead, then work your way up to how much it costs for a new transaction or a conversion in that way. And then you can tweak the algorithm over time and then change the bidding strategy from a CPA, cost per acquisition, to a cost per conversion value. So the conversion value bidding strategy, which we won't get into now, but basically you can train Google's algorithm to find you more profitable clients over time. So it's really, really powerful. A big one for Google Ads as well is making sure if you're a local business that you're targeting the right areas. A lot of people start with Google Ads and they target too broad an area and they end up targeting, other countries and things by accident. Just keep an eye on that one. For SEO, really start with the keyword research. That's where it's at. So don't start with too broad of keywords. What I mean by that is don't start with the topic of lawn care and you just have you're trying to rank for lawn care. Don't bother. Try to be very specific with longer phrases that you're trying to bid on, and use tools like Ahrefs to help you, or SEMrush to help you out with the keyword research part of things, because that can tell you what people are actually typing into Google. Don't use Google Keyword Planner, please. Just use Ahrefs and SEMrush and things like that. Then the idea is you create content. So we've got this thing called topical authority maps, where basically, you might be covering things around lawn care if you're a lawn care provider and you do maintenance and things like that. You might cover all there is to do with maintaining a lawn, and you might cover 20 different blog articles covering different angles, covering a different keyword in the spectrum. And so you're basically creating this cluster of content that all maps between each other, you link between each other, and then you also link to your commercial pages where people are actually hiring you and take the next step to book with you. And so that's a really, really big thing, making sure that you're not overselling in your blog articles. Try not to be salesy at all. Try to be very non-salesy and be very helpful, right? Then eventually people will lead on to that conversion journey and actually go with you if they're interested. Then you just optimize your website for technical SEO and on-page SEO. We won't go into that right now, but basically all your header tags, your meta descriptions, your meta titles, your schema markup, your internal links, making sure you've got enough, making sure you're pointing to reputable websites as well, like local government websites and things, if it's relevant to what you've got. So anyway, that's really the big differences between SEO and Google Ads. I want to keep this one a short one. So to sum it up, Google Ads works best if you need results right now and you have a budget to cover the ongoing costs. So it's quick and reliable for the short-term gains, but the traffic stops as soon as you stop paying, right? SEO takes time, but it builds up traffic that keeps coming in over time as well. So once you're ranking, you don't have to pay per visitor, and a well-optimized page can keep driving leads for months or even years. And that's what we're seeing with our website, right? You can check us out. So each strategy has its place. You might want to use both. We use both. Most of my clients use both. I definitely recommend it. So I hope this gave you value and actionable insights to decide whether or not SEO or Google Ads was right for you, or using a combination of both. If you've got any questions, leave them below and I'm happy to answer them. And I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.